Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you this incredible BLM campsite behind me, and this is definitely one that you're going to want to add to your travel map. This is Angels Peak Scenic Area BLM Campground, and this is Angels Peak. The stay limit here is 14 days, and it is completely free. This campground is located off of County Road 7175, just 21 miles southeast of Bloomfield, New Mexico. County Road 7175 intersects Highway 550, so take a right if you're traveling north on Highway 550, or a left if traveling south. Travel roughly 6 miles down County Road 7175 to the camping area. You'll pass many day use areas on the way in, but eventually you'll see a sign signifying camping. The road in is hard-packed dirt and gravel, but it is washboard, and it can get really washboardy in sites, so travel slow. We went about 10 to 20 miles an hour the whole 6 miles in. There are a total of 9 sites all along the loop road that makes up this campground, and some are big enough to get larger Class A's and motorhomes into, while others are so small that they can only fit a vehicle and a tent. Now the specific site that we're in is actually outside of the camping area. You go across a fence, and then there is this big open flat cleared area that we chose because we are caravanning with our friends Thomas and Stacy from I'm Not Lost I'm RVing. Now we're 99% sure that you're allowed to camp here because it's still on BLM land, but we're also pretty sure it is outside what is the designated campground for Angels Peak. However, we stayed here for a week and we were never bothered by any BLM ranger or anyone telling us we couldn't camp here. The sites are all very level and no one should have any issue getting their rig level while camping here. Amenities include pit toilets, covered picnic areas, and fire grates, which is actually pretty good for a BLM camping area. And then the rest of your amenities we got in a nearby town called Farmington, New Mexico. We found free water and dump at the Conoco gas station in Farmington. There's a post office that accepts general delivery, and we filled up our propane at a Tractor Supply. And there are Walmarts in town as well for grocery shopping. Now the signal strength here is really good too. We had 1 to 2 bars of Verizon 4G LTE signal, and our download speeds were 20 megabits per second and upload was 2.65. That's pretty decent, especially without a cell booster. Now since this campground is 20 miles from the nearest town, it is so quiet here. It's so peaceful during the day, and at night it is literally dead quiet, makes it so easy to sleep. And at night also, the sky is very dark, so if you like stargazing with a telescope, or if you like doing night sky photography, this is a great place for it. Now there are no quiet hours here that we know of just because it's a BLM campground, so just be respectful of your neighbors when running generators. Be sure to run them after a certain period in the morning and then shut them off when everyone's going to bed at night. Just because it is so quiet here, sound does really travel. I do need to mention a couple things though. This whole BLM area is used for natural gas harvesting. So every now and then on a daily basis, we do have trucks drive by our site that work for those natural gas companies to do, whatever they're doing out here. It's no big deal. I just want to make you aware that they will be coming and going during the day, and if they are driving down the washboard road on the way in at the same time you are, look out because they do go pretty fast down the road. And also the ground here is very firm when it's dry. However, when it gets wet, it gets very muddy and can turn into a bit of a soupy mess. So just keep that in mind as well. Keep your eye on the forecast before coming out here. Now, of course, the best part about this campground is Angels Peak. It is absolutely gorgeous. The camping locations, many of them are very close to the rim of the canyon that just leads into the Badlands. So if you can park your rig in a way that one of your windows or maybe your front door faces Angels Peak in the Badlands, that's when you'll get the best experience possible, because you'll wake up every day, look out that window, and oh my gosh, You just see the magnificence of these formations out here. It is incredible. And if you want to get up close and personal with Angels Peak and want to go explore out into the Badlands, there is a nature's trail that leads from the camping area and walks along the ridges of these Badland hills. And it's hard to say in words just how awesome and incredible it is when you walk out there. I did it yesterday and I did not want to leave. I was standing outside or out on one of those peaks for at least an hour. It truly is an experience. I'm not entirely sure how long the trail is, but it's definitely between a half mile and a mile, and it's pretty easy to walk to. There's no big elevation gains or anything. However, the path, since it is walking on these hill ridges, it can get pretty narrow and a little sketchy at times, but if you're a little adventurous and not afraid of heights, it's definitely worth it. Just be careful. Not only is exploring around this campsite pretty awesome, but you can also do what we did and use this campsite as a hub to explore the Badlands in the area. Bisti Badlands and Ashi Slepa Wilderness are also located nearby within about an hour's drive, and they feature multicolored badlands, sandstone hoodoos, petrified wood, dinosaur bones, and fossils. While we didn't make it to the Bisti Badlands, we did check out Ashi Slepa, and it's pretty incredible. This is the largest site here at Angels Peak, and you can see I've got my truck behind me for reference on just how big it is. My truck is a long bed, so it's 25 feet total, and you can see it doesn't even fill up this site. So you can really get any size, really large motorhome in here, or if you've got a really long trailer, it'll fit too. And what's really nice about this site is it's a pull-through site. So if you do have a really large motorhome, or if you're towing a larger trailer, you don't have to worry about backing it out of this site. You can just pull on through when you leave. And there are tons of overlooks that you can spend your time walking out to, all the various ones that stretch out into the Badlands to give you a different perspective at each one. And then this site right behind me is probably the smallest one here. It's just big enough for me to fit my 25-foot long bed truck in. So it's perfect if you've got a truck camper or if you've got a small car and you're just looking to put one, maybe two tents in this site. It does still have a picnic table and a fire ring though, so it's perfect for those smaller rigs or for tent camping. Now, all the other sites that are here are somewhere in between this tiny site and the biggest one I showed you. So despite what size of rig you have, if you're towing, fifth wheel travel trailer, or if you have a motorhome, doesn't matter, you'll be able to fit here and you'll be able to get level. Now this is just one of many of the day use picnic areas that you pass as you're on your way back to the campground area. So, even if you don't want to come here to camp, if you're in the area, I highly recommend at least coming and stopping and hanging out at one of these picnic areas. The parking lots are very big and they all overlook the Badlands area, and you can still see Angels Peak from here too. It is beautiful and totally worth coming here to check out Angels Peak and see the Badlands. So before you come here, just know that even though it says online on the BLM's website for this campsite that there is trash cans here, I haven't seen a single one at any of the campgrounds or at any of the picnic areas. So if you do come here, be prepared to take back out with you everything you bring in. Now, while filming this video and just looking at all the sites and getting footage of all of them, I came across this. The last person that used this site was just a jerk, and they left all their trash right here at the campsite, and they even just jammed it all into this fire grate and closed it so it wouldn't blow away. That makes it okay. This really upsets me because Jenny and I have witnessed firsthand BLM campgrounds that have been shut down because people just didn't take care of them, or they straight up vandalized them. And this, in my opinion, is vandalism. So please, when you come to a place like this, be stewards for it. If possible, leave it better than when you arrived. Remember, the BLM office, setting up really nice campgrounds and picnic areas like this, they don't have to do that. This is optional for them. And if people treat these areas like this, they may shut this one down too. And that would be very sad because it is beautiful here. Jenny and I love this campground. So we're gonna pick up this trash so that the BLM Rangers don't have to. Definitely wearing gloves for this job. This is a lot of trash.
This is a lot of trash.
I
think there might be more in that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if 2 bags is going to be enough, but
we can always come back. Now it's hard to impossible to describe with words just how beautiful this campground area is and the Badlands behind me, let alone Angels Peak itself. So you're just gonna have to check it out for yourself. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.